and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Corey in the house.
What?
Guys, it's Corey, and this is my channel, Corey in the House, and I'm back with some new content. Today I was just really feeling inspired to make a video about why I chose Stony Brook University. So I got an email from the Dean of Arts and Sciences, and it was just very inspirational and just moving. And basically 6,000 people, 6,000 students came to campus to visit just to see you know, what the campus has to offer, the faculty, staff, and just the current students who currently go here, and just kind of like, you know, see if this is a school for them. So basically I just felt motivated to make a video why I chose Stony Brook. So for those of you who have been following me for a while know I transferred from Pace University, and when I transferred this spring. So I was a sophomore in my my fall semester at Pace, and I was still looking for a university that would basically fulfill all the needs and wants I wanted in a school. Just because if I'm going to continue to go to a school and have to pay back all these student loans, I want to be happy. So I basically did a search on schools in New York, because I'm from New York, basically to find a school that was cheaper than the school I was going to, a school that had a big population of students, one with amazing faculty that would be supportive, and I didn't even visit. I did not have to visit Stony Brook University to know that I wanted to be here. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and the reason I didn't visit was because I was in school, and it was just really hard to like pick a day for my mom to come drive down to my school that I was going to, Pace University, and bring me and my best friend, to school to visit. And it was just like, you know, with her work schedule and with our schedule, and for some reason the tours were always like during the week, so they were kind of like, you know, inconvenient for us to come visit. So we actually never did that. We were going to skip class one time to come visit, but we ended up not doing that. And so basically I just watched a lot of YouTube videos about, you know, the dorms, the food, vegetarian, so that's very important to me. Went to Pace, and they didn't have a lot of vegetarian, vegan options. So going to a school that had one cafeteria to going to a school that has numerous cafeterias, it was just, you know, something I really wanted. Just because, you know, being vegetarian or vegan is very limiting. When you go to a college and you have to like, eat in the cafeteria rather than like cooking your own meals. So I just wanted to go to a school where I can try new foods every day. I can try, you know, I can have squash spaghetti and salad if I want to, because going to a school where the salad bar every day was not very, you know, it wasn't really fun. Eating a salad every day, I don't know if any of you guys are vegetarians. I can eat a salad probably every day, but not every day for every meal. So that was, you know, a big concern I had was about food, and as well as the teachers, well, the professors and the faculty caring. When I first got to Stony Brook, it was the orientation, and I was greeted by orientation leaders, and they were all eager and excited. Well, you know, if you've ever been on a tour, usually the orientation leaders and the RAs or whoever is on campus doing tours, they're usually really excited, just because that's one reason is that's their job. So as you guys continue to go on your search and look at universities, just because you see happy people who are giving you tours doesn't mean that they love the school. So when I went on a tour for Pace University and I saw all these, you know, all these people giving tours who were so happy and loved their school, and then I actually started attending that school, and then noticing that those people who were in those positions didn't really love their school. They were just doing it because it was their job, and they had numerous jobs on campus. I was just like, I don't want to visit another school and have that same impression. So I just did a lot of research on Stony Brook. So one thing I found was that Stony Brook was one of the best schools for the profession I want to go into. Here's psychology, and my concentration is biology and chemistry. I'm on the like pre-med track. So basically, for those of you who like want to do pre-med or do something in medicine and have to go to graduate school or med school for that, a lot of people do pick psychology or health science. For me, psych was the best option just because I was a transfer. And with the health science major, you can only take health science classes your senior year, and you can't take anything else. So it was just kind of like hard for me to take all the rest of my prerequisites for PA school. my junior year, because I would just be really hectic to take so many bio and chem classes, and I would just be really stressed out, and it was really impossible just because with all the labs, and it wouldn't really work out. So it was better for me to do psych, so I can take psych classes in the summer, and which I'm doing this summer, and then the following summer, and I'll be taking psych classes during breaks, so it's easier for my my prerequisites for PA school. So when I looked up Stony Brook, it was ranked number 16. I think it was the Forbes website of, you know, United States or whatever, 16 for their PA program. And I thought this was really impressive just because it was higher than some of the Ivy League schools. So it was just shocking to me that SUNY school, which is a public university, had a higher rank than some very expensive private schools in even Ivy Leagues. And it was higher than Pace University. And Pace University was ranked in the hundreds, I believe. About the school, how it was very hard, and people drop out or whatever because the school is hard and it's focused on medicine, and it's a big research school, and that was ranked like 4 or 5 in research. This is like ranked 4 or 5 as a research school, so I thought that was a great opportunity to go here. So basically my decision to go here wasn't because of the negative things I've heard about it, like, oh, it's so hard, or the science classes you're going to take, you're not going to pass them. That nothing in life is easy, or nothing comes to me quickly. So if I have to go to the chemistry department or my professor's office hours or get tutoring privately, because they do offer that on campus, that's what I have to do. And I don't know, when people say like, oh, you know, this is a hard school, or that's a hard school, I don't want to go to a hard school. It's just like, what do you want to do in your life? If you're not going to be pushed to your, you know, pushed really hard to, you know, show what you're capable of, it's just like, what are you doing in life? Basically, I would never want a doctor to put their hands in my body or prescribe me medicine that did not have a hard, rigorous curriculum in their undergraduate career. And it's just like really hard. You're not gonna make a good transition if you go to a very simple, oh, everything was handed to me, the professor gave me the answers basically from the review sheet, and you pass all the exams with A's, and you go to med school and it's so hard because you weren't pushed, you weren't forced to study harder, you weren't forced to change your study habits. It's kind of like, you know, you're not going to be prepared, 1, for the MCATs and 2 for medical school. So I looked at this school and said, okay, they have a high rank for the PA program, so all the classes I'm going to take for PA school are going to push me. I'm going to take chem, I'm going to take all the bio classes, I'm going to take the math classes, and I'm going to do well. And if I don't do well, it's because I've been pushed and I can, you know, change my study habits. And I learned that, like, and people think, you know, when they go to from high school to college, that it's okay, yeah, I got A's, you know, I got a really high SAT score, ACTs, you know, no brainer. But you go to college and it's just a whole different ballpark. It's just like, okay, you used to study, you know, here and there, but in college you have to constantly keep studying. You have to constantly try harder. You have to constantly email your professors. You have to form study groups. You have to really try hard. So basically my message to those people who are looking for universities is just to do your research. Just because you go to a accepted students day or open house doesn't mean that's, you know, you have a good vibe of the, you know, university. That doesn't mean that's the university for you. Continue to do research. Continue to even try to find like your major, what do you want to major in, and email the department and see their curriculum, see their tracks, you know, for the classes that you're going to be taking. You know, look on Rate My Professor, look, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you really need to do your research on the university you want to attend. You know, I go to a cheaper university, and with the field that I'm going to go into, I'm going to be making a lot of money. So I don't really care about student loans at this point. I'm one of those people that rather be happy where I am and know that I'm getting the best education possible than to go to a school where I'm being offered more money and not be as happy and not have the opportunities that I could have at a different university. Basically, for whatever major you are, these are tips for you. Whatever major you are and whatever college you're looking at, look at the opportunities they have after graduating. A lot of schools do offer programs where they will help you find a job, you know, after graduation. So if, you know, you should really look into that, just because that's very important. Who wants to have a degree and then not have a job after graduation and have to work at, somewhere part-time in retail or something that you're not using your major, your degree in. So that's very important. Secondly, if you're going into something medicine, I think it's very important for the university to have a hospital, and not a lot of schools have hospitals on campus, so I'm very fortunate to have a hospital on my campus. So I am getting into volunteering at the hospital and just looking at opportunities that I can, have jobs and stuff like that as I'm in college to get clinical hours for PA school. So that's very important if you're trying to go into something medicine-wise, like if you want to go to PA school or a PT school or a PA school. So I think that's very important to have a hospital or some type of facility that's close. I'm fortunate enough to have the Stony Brook, which has a hospital on campus, and it's, a walking distance away. Also, there's a shuttle that goes there, so I'm very grateful to have that. Some schools do have, that are like med schools as well, that have undergraduate programs, do have hospitals, so I think that's a very good benefit. If you guys are interested in Greek organizations, you guys should definitely look into that before you pick a school, just because if you go to the school and you want to be in a specific Greek org and they don't have that there, you might be like upset. But at the same time, don't fully, just because you want to be in one Greek organization before college doesn't mean that's going to be the Greek org you're going to commit to or be in, because every organization chapter is different. So you can see, oh, this school, their chapter is lit, and the school you end up picking, it's non-existent. So, and you really have to vibe with the people who are in the chapter. So if it's the sorority sisters or the fraternity brothers, so you really have to do your research while you're in the school, just because you might change your mind, and that's something that shouldn't really determine your decision. When I picked PACE, they did have a few sororities, so I was just trying to look at my options. And at Stony Brook, they also have a lot of sororities and fraternities, so if you guys are interested in that, that's something you definitely can get involved in on campus. There are tons of jobs on campus. I personally don't have a job, and my best friend Luz, she doesn't have a job either, but I don't want to have a job. Just because with all the classes I'm taking and volunteering and just, wanting to have a social life, like, I don't really want to have a job. And I work in the summertime and then I save so I don't have to work, just because my mom, and plus I'm fortunate enough to have my mom who allows me not to work just because she wants me to be focused on school. That's why I'm here. I'm not here to go to work. I'm here to learn. I'm here to get my degree. I'm here to pass. So if you guys have that opportunity to not work, I would definitely take it. Just because, it does get overwhelming with all the classes, especially if you're a science major, with all the labs you're going to have, all the time you're going to need to spend outside of the classroom. That's just very important, just to do well in school. Before I picked Stony Brook, me and Luce Mary, we sat at PACE in the computer lab, and we looked up every organization that was on campus. So we just there was over a couple hundred clubs on the website. So we looked at every single club and we wrote a bunch of clubs that we want to join. There are literally so many clubs at Stony Brook. So if you're ever bored, there's so much to do on campus in general, but specifically if you want a club, which meets usually weekly, you can just look up online clubs and organizations when they meet. They usually meet once a week, and it's usually during the nighttime, just because they realize that people have class, and classes usually run from 8 in the morning until 8 to 9 at night. And for some of my classes, my exams, my midterms and finals, were at night, so 8 to 10 o'clock, depending on the class. But yeah, so they really do recognize that people have classes, and they usually do meet at night. So if you're a commuter, that kind of sucks, just because you'll have to stay longer. But if you do live on campus, it's a benefit. Oh, another thing, there were so many housing options at Stony Brook, which is really exciting, because I went to a school that only had 4 options of housing, and it was just really tough to get housing because it was based on points. And if the person you were going to room with didn't have a lot of points, that kind of hurt you. So here it's based on, not really based on anything. Like you get like a priority over the building that you currently live in, and then on top of that, if you're like third, fourth year, you're allowed to live in like the newer buildings as long as you have a 3.0, which, you know, for the most part, all the buildings kind of look alike. And they're the same with like the suite styles. They're suite and there's corridor style dorms here. And then the newer buildings, I'm pretty sure, are the ones that everyone has a single and the suite, which is nicer. You know, I guess if you're a senior, like you have more things, or you don't want a roommate. Because I know people who had really, really bad experiences with roommates. I'm glad I didn't have any like really bad experiences with roommates. But yeah, some people are not comfortable having to share a room with a stranger, like somebody you completely don't know. So there were so many options here. And housing wasn't really that bad. The semester's coming to an end, and I picked my housing on Monday. And I thought I could live in my same room, but I waited too late. And I still got a room. It's the same setup. 3 rooms with 2 people in each one, the living room and the bathroom and the suite. So it wasn't that bad of a process. I don't know, I'm really like family oriented. I have so much school spirit. So like, as you can tell, like I'm wearing a Stony Brook University t-shirt. But that's just one of my really big things. Like at Pace, there wasn't really a lot of school spirit. So I love to go to games. Like me and Luce Mary, our first basketball game here at Stony Brook was right after we got out of class. We got out of class at 6:50. And we ran to the arena to go to this basketball game, and it was like the most fun I've had in a long time. Just taking pictures with Wolfie and then chanting, and that was our first game, so like we didn't know any of the chants. And then we were sitting next to the band, and then we kept doing like the whoosh, and it was just so fun just to be a part of that. So yeah, we learned all the chants. We sat next to really cool people. They taught us, you know, the chants and everything, and it was just a good time just to be there at the basketball game. And we got like a free goodies, and like they threw out t-shirts and stuff, and it was just like a really good time. A lot of people were there to support. Somebody won money or whatever because they, you know, shot a ball in the free shot line or whatever. So it was just a lot of fun. And yeah, especially like after class, I don't know, a way to de-stress can be like going to the gym, and I recently started implementing this in my daily schedule, like going to the gym just to like after class, you know, your mind's like everywhere. At least my mind's everywhere, and I like to de-stress, and I feel like when I go to the gym, I can really relax. And people are like, relax? How are you relaxing at the gym? But like, it's just, for me, like it's like another home. And I'm going to a basketball game, going to a baseball game, like just getting involved on campus is so essential for college, just because one, you meet a lot of cool people. You can network at social events, especially if you're in Greek organizations or any clubs in general. You can find out about scholarship opportunities to continue to, you know, make your tuition cheaper. And there's just so many things, you know, reasons why you should join clubs and get involved on campus. You can meet a lot of professors. You can become a TA, which is a teacher assistant, and basically, you know, get good a lot of recommendations from that, and kind of like help with research. And yeah, there's just so much to do on this campus. Like I'm never bored unless I choose to be bored. And recently, me and Luce have learned about a lot of events that have happened on campus. And yeah, one big way to get involved on campus is to follow social media. So a lot of clubs have social media accounts. The university itself has a social media account like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and on top of that, like you get weekly emails about like events on campus. It can either be in your dorm hall or like, you know, the student activity center, which is what we call the SAC. So there's usually so much to do on campus. Like when people are like, oh, I'm bored, it's like, well, do you know there's like 10, 15 events going on right now at the same time? And then sometimes that sucks just because some events do happen at around the same time. So you'll be like, okay, I'm going to go to this one for half an hour, and then I'm going to go to this one. So there's just literally so much to do. Hey, I'm back. My camera died. So basically, I just want you guys to take from this video is to do your research on your university that you're looking into. Decision date is May 1st, so that's in 2 weeks. So hopefully with whatever choice that you decide, that you really just do your research and, you know, really enjoy college, because it costs a lot of money. You're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to learn a lot, and you're going to struggle. You're going to, you know, there's so much to do in college. There's 4 years. But, you know, don't be discouraged if you can't graduate in 4 years, and if it takes you 5 or 6. Everybody's journey is different. So if you have any questions, just put them down in the description box. I'm all for SUNY schools.